It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
Woo! That was bonkers in London this morning. The Vikings are 3-1. We have takes. You have takes. And we will turn it over to you because this is the most fan-friendly, interactive show in Minnesota sports. It is Vikings Vent Line on Purple Daily. Phil Mackey, Judd Zolgad, Declan Goff. On the Purple Daily family of shows, we're all about two things. Daily Vikings entertainment, and boy, that was entertaining this morning, even ugly at times as well. And we also want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. And a 3-1 start, again, as ugly as it has looked at times, is a good way to start making your way toward the playoffs. So, boys, let's get into it here. Presented by our friends in part at Surly Brewing Company and TCL, one of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands. They have a new lineup of award-winning TVs for you to shout at while watching the Vikings that deliver the most entertainment with stunning resolution, all at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. Judd, your biggest takeaway after watching 3 hours of back and forth, I would say emotional roller coaster football.
My biggest takeaway is very, very simple. When this show is done, I need about 6 of these things at the very least, maybe more.
Continue that thought. By the way, I saw a bunch of people.
Oh yeah,
I saw our guy Omar from Surly. Was he sending photos of that?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was
man.
on the trip and he took some and got some great shots. And yes, you can, I believe, find those both at the Surly Brewing Twitter account and our Score North account as well. Surly, you know what? Today is a perfect day. Perfect day. But the good news is this. Vikings fans don't end up nearly as surly as they might have been if they had blown that entire game, which was possible. My initial thoughts are this. There is, again, just like last week, there is so many things to nitpick and go over that went wrong. There were opportunities to take that game and run away. Absolutely. And the Vikings couldn't, but they did win. And so, unlike the Gophers on Saturday against Purdue, the good news is the Vikings won.
Wow, you had to do the Gopher drive-by there, didn't you?
Oh, they deserve every bit of what they get. They deserve every bit of what they get. But you know what? Man, I am trying to be, and I preached this last week, I'm trying to be as patient as possible offensively. Like I am trying my darndest. But there are moments where it's getting very difficult because there are moments when they make plays and you're like, oh, of course. Yeah, that's great. Like they are making some plays. That throw to Jefferson to set up the Joseph field goal was gorgeous.
That's the second most beautiful throw I've seen Kirk Cousins make as a Viking. The first one was also against the Saints. Adam Thielen playoffs,
sure.
Right? That was a gorgeous clutch throw by Kirk Cousins to set things up on that drive.
That was absolutely a great throw and a great play. But when I see that, I then see the offense struggle again, like on a day like today, and I say, really? Like it's got to look this bad at times?
Yes, of course. Dude, this is a Saints defense that largely has held Tom Brady confused for the last couple of years.
Right, but
I'm talking good defense.
I'm talking about the self-inflicted wounds, though. The Jefferson drops, the Kirk threw a pick again, and then he went into a period of blind panic, and he didn't want to throw passes, or if he did, made incorrect reads. So what I'm being patient, but I would like to see this smoothed out just a little bit more. That being said, the last 2 weeks, the final quarter in both cases have been great fun as a football fan to watch.
Let me give you just the 30,000. There's so much minutia to get into here today. I mean, there's so much fodder here, but last year, one of my biggest issues with Mike Zimmer was how he failed to lean into the identity of the team, which was they play a historically high amount of close games. The Vikings played close games. I think it was like 11 or 12 of the 17 games on their schedule were maybe even more than that. It might have been like 14 one-score games or something. And he would always get up to the podium and in the locker room, and it was always like, oh, we won, but we gotta. It was always this sort of angst of, I know that we won, but we can't keep doing this. And I feel like this team and Kevin O'Connell last week leaned into it in that post-game clip that went viral, right? This is the NFL, man. This is who the Vikings have been the last couple of years. They just get themselves in these close, somewhat ugly games, and you have pulled off 2 in a row. My biggest takeaway here isn't the first 2.5 hours of ugliness. It's the way that they bounced back last week and this week to still win the game. I don't care about like Kirk having pretty stats for 10 years and having go win in the end. Go, okay, cool. They kick a 60-yarder, boom, ball comes back over here. Like, that's all I'm interested in is racking W's and team victories here. And so this team is 3-1 and nowhere near peaking yet. That's my main takeaway. It's almost all positive from old Macadac here today. No better way to start the month of Kirktober than a dagger against the Saints, a team that the Vikings have owned for the last 10 years. It's glorious.
Ugly, and I don't love waking up at 8 a.m. to watch football. I really don't. I do not. I'm not a morning person. I like to sleep in on the weekends a little bit. I couldn't take the commentary crew a whole lot, but at the same time, Vikings win, man. If they want to win ugly, I don't care. I know Kirk didn't have the prettiest of games today. Kevin O'Connell, I think, still has a lot to learn when it comes to game management and clock management and some other things too. At the end of the day, all of that in the pot of stew that we'll obviously get into with nitpicks and whatnot, and we'll hear from Vikings fans here shortly. It's a win, baby. You're 3-1 through 4 games. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it really mattered if the Vikings offense was top 5 through 3 games. If you're 3-1 at this point in the season, you got to take it. Take your wins where you can get them.
Yeah. So, okay, I think we'll shut up here so we can open up to this full room of Vikings fans that's up early, probably a little buzzed. Maybe some of you are drinking Surly, and we appreciate that. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. We are almost up to 50,000 subscribers between the Purple Daily and Score North YouTube channels. Thank you guys so much for that. Dex, who is first out of the gate? And by the way, you can email us. You can see on the bottom of the screen here, VikingsVentLine@gmail.com if you want to put your request in. Who's first up?
We got Jamie. Jamie, what's up, buddy?
What up, Jamie?
What's up, guys? Long-time listener. Love listening to you guys. Today was pretty stressful. Where do I start, I guess? It's just like one thing after another. Me and my roommate here were saying it could have been a 3-score game at one point early in the game. But I suppose I just don't really like the indecisiveness of the play calling for the most part on offense. That's a work in progress, I would say. I don't really like just the 4-man rush all the time. I would like a little bit more pressure sent up the middle. And then one specific play to call out, the Jefferson play, get inside the 3, great. The indecisiveness kind of comes back, and then they're like, are thinking too much. They can't get a play called off. Time runs out. Could have just, then you can call the halfback dive that you call on 2nd and 10, which is just mind-numbing to me. It's just a long list of things. The time management before the end of half. I mean, you don't get any yards on first down. You get to say, you just call a timeout, regroup on 2nd down, have 2 plays ready to go. Just, I don't know. It seems like they're just, but I should start off by saying they're 3-1. They're 3-1.
Yeah. And I want to add one more thing to this, because everything you just criticized is 100% valid. There's a million things to nitpick here. This team has a new offensive system being installed, a new defensive system being installed, did not play starters in the preseason. And so banking wins before they peak, and I don't know when they're going to peak. Hopefully they haven't peaked yet. But you know, at some point later in October or November is probably when they're going to start clicking to whatever degree they're going. I'm not saying they're going to be the best team in the NFL, but if you can bank wins now while you're starting to figure this stuff out in the first month of a completely new set of coaches, this is actually a great first month for the Vikings, despite all the things we can sit here and nitpick.
3-1. 3-1 is, I mean, I turned after the double doink. I mean, that's literally as close as I've seen a field goal to falling ever. Like, ever. It was halfway in, and it didn't bounce. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but, like, there's a long list of things I'm sure you guys are going to find a way to talk about all week. But also, 3rd down offense. You can't be getting yourself into 3rd and long issues. It's like the same problem with the Clint Kubiak offense. You can't be just putting yourself in 3rd and longs all the time and just like, oh, we need 9 yards. That's where I'd like – they keep insisting on running the ball, but when it doesn't work, it's like, and then the double misdirections on center play call, and then that's when the Saints send pressure. And I mean, you see how it works. I'd like to see some more pressure, but at the end of the day, the Vikes are 3-1. Thanks for having me on, guys. Like I said, I don't want to hold it up for everybody else. I'm sure that really wants to get in and just echo everything you guys are talking about all week. But big fan. keep up doing what you're doing. I really appreciate you guys. It's a mad life we live as Vikings fans. So thanks for
right on, dude. Jamie, great way to lead us off, man. It's a great call. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Vikings Vent Line on Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Will, what's up, man? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Will?
Man, you guys have said this previous years, and just full disclosure, I've disagreed with tons of your guys' takes, but it's always difficult with this team, right? Like, we can never get a week 1 Green Bay throughout the season where it's just nice and you're coasting and relaxing. You need a double doink field goal to win, and just the margin of victory in these games. And I think it just goes to show you, look at the seasons, right? Last year, Kirk Cousins, honestly, in a lot of games, really good in fourth quarter, took the lead, right? Defense gives it up, we lose the game, and the reputation is, and I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it in a lot of cases, but he can't finish, he can't win those games. This year, so far, back-to-back week 2 games, right? We happen to actually have luck on our side, and we get a double doink that misses. Just feels like last year we would have had those go in, and it feels great to be 3-1. And I thought overall the game, I'm a little skeptical on Kevin O'Connell. I understand we're putting in a new offense as well, but I don't know if we're going to quite be able to get Justin Jefferson open the way that Sean McVay is able to get Cooper Kupp. I just really haven't seen that. Maybe it does take a little bit more time in terms of scheming, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on that first.
I think that's probably true. The one thing that I have seen the last 2 weeks that disappoints me, though, is there are passes Justin needs to catch that he drops. Mm-hmm. And that, like, when you scheme to get a guy who's going to be covered like he is open, you can't have drops. That drop on the second half ball where Sanchez talked about that the ball basically got past his eyes, that's got to be caught. Like, that's a tough catch, but his hands, he could have secured that ball. He didn't. So that being said, I think that, the last 2 weeks there have been definite passes that Justin needs to catch, because when you do throw him the ball, unless he's basically being interfered with, those are important plays. And so I'm a little bit disappointed. I get his frustration. I get all of that. But, dude, you need to catch the ball.
You know what? I think sometimes people get mad at us because we've had this sort of get over it, deal with it attitude when it comes to the Vikings. A lot of people love to make excuses. Well, what are they supposed to? The offensive line, the offensive line was not great in pass protection today. Receivers, your guy Johnny Munt, what a devastating
right through his hands.
I don't even know if he touched the ball.
It wasn't a drop.
It just like went right through a window.
It was just like, yeah.
It like went right through his torso. It was very
it was bad.
Very odd.
It was incredible.
I think sometimes people act like, oh, the Vikings are the only team in the entire country that drops passes and has a bad offensive line performance against, ferocious pass rushers. No, this happens across almost every game in the NFL every week. And I think what we have been saying is be a team, be a quarterback, be a coach, be a team that says, whatever, bad crap's, there's going to be 10 terrible things that happen today. There's going to be a couple turnovers. There's going to be 8 times where they kick the crap out of our pass protection, and then there's going to be another 4 drops or something. Mm-hmm. Deal with it. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Go win
Be
anyways.
Tough.
Yes, go win anyways. We should print the shirts.
Yeah.
Go win anyways. And they have the last 2 weeks.
Off of that point, too, moratorium right now for the next at least 2 to 3 games. No one who's a Vikings fan can complain about officiating at all.
God.
The 25-22 lead was taken in spite of the offense. The call on Matthew on the play that he just basically made contact with Justin is one of the worst calls I've seen. He literally hit his shoulder pads, and they threw a flag. Yeah. The Thielen PI was a PI, but Thielen grabbed Lattimore's face mask. They could have evened that thing up in a heartbeat. They didn't. No complaints for at least 3 games about if you feel the Vikings got screwed because they got a gift. The offense on that drive wasn't good. They got a gift, which you'll take. I just don't want to hear, oh, the officiating screwed us. No, the Vikings got very fortunate with those calls.
Brett screwed Brett.
Brett
screwed Brett.
Anyway.
All right, let's keep it going here. Vikings Vent Line.
Drew, what's up, pal? You're on Vikings Vent Line. Drew.
How we doing, guys?
There we go.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Boom.
Definitely thrilled with the win, 3-1. Like we said earlier, I feel like we could have easily won this by 2-3, a 2-3 score game. It felt like we wanted to give the game away like the Lions did last week, letting them hang in there with all these field goals, missed extra point, all these things. We get bailed out by the refs, thankfully, at the end. But yeah, super pumped to be 3-1. A couple things that I'm, I guess, disappointed in, I think could be definitely bad when we get into playing tougher teams or make it to the playoffs at the end of the year. We got to catch the ball, dude. You're in the NFL. I mean, it's touching both your hands, going through your hands. Justin Jefferson, you're supposed to be the best receiver in the league. You can't make that adjustment and make the catch. Like, you got to catch the ball and get a touchdown there. That would have given us a lot more momentum than a field goal. And then the next play after that, Kirk missed him wide open in the corner of the end zone. Instead, he throws it 2 yards to Thielen on 3rd and goal. At least give ourselves a chance to score. Throw it up to JJ. I mean, don't just – it's kind of like the check down thing. Like, why even do that? If we're not going to go for it on 4th down, who cares about 2 yards? Just throw it up to JJ. But, yeah, I'm happy with the win. Just some things that I think they got to clean up going forward.
Yeah, Drew, good stuff,
Thanks,
man.
Drew.
I'll throw a couple stats out there kind of in line with what Drew's saying. So, well, red zone, the Vikings came in. They were a little better last week, but the Vikings, they have problems cashing in the red zone, and that was evident again today. And 3rd down, they came in as one of the 5 worst 3rd down offenses in the NFL. And for a while, they were like 4 of their first 7 or something, but they wind up 5 of 14 on 3rd down. So this is I think that's going to get somewhat better. I mean, Kirk has been a bad 3rd down quarterback in his career oftentimes. I think they're going to find ways to scheme better on 3rd down. But they are 3-1 despite being mostly terrible in the red zone, mostly terrible on 3rd down, and a defense that's been super leaky, unable to get after even Andy Dalton and make him feel uncomfortable. So just to be banking wins like this is so huge for this team. Should we keep it going here? Vikings
let's
Vent
keep
Line,
going.
Purple Daily YouTube channel.
All right, let's go to I think it's Daddy is technically his name.
What's
And
up, Daddy?
Yes, it is.
It make me say
Yep.
a second
Daddy.
time.
Thank you for bringing me in. I've been begging Declan for like months now, but hey, I enjoy your shows. I love how you guys stay true, and no matter what's going on, we just kind of want the Vikings to win. So cheers to that.
Right on, dude. Is that what is that? Was that hard out? Is that like a picture of tequila or something?
No, it's like and
Okay.
forgive me for my like poor quality, but like it's like just like my starter. This is usually what I start with.
Nice.
I love it.
Wow, I'd like
Well-
to see how you finish.
Well, no, I actually started today with mimosas because I know the game was in the UK and I wanted to be like fancier than just beer. So I'm like, I'm gonna start with mimosas.
You're
in
like,
bed.
I feel a little guilty drinking beer before 9 o'clock, so I'll drink some champagne and orange juice instead.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if the Vikings played at this time all the time. Like,
It's great. Yes.
yeah, honestly, like I wake up too early and I'm out here waiting. Like, God, I have to wait till 12, and then okay. So I took a couple notes, and yes, I agree with you guys that it's crazy that we're 3-1. It really feels like we could be 1-3. If things don't go our ways here and there, but I think they are doing things differently than last year, at least. I mean, with the end of games where, I see O'Connell always having the 3 timeouts to use, not like using some crazy timeouts like Zimmer. So I like that. I'm going to be a little critical of Cousins today. I wanted to focus on the little things that he does instead of just looking at the stats. So I'm not sure what you guys think. If was the offensive line struggling, or was he holding on to the ball a little too long?
Combination of both.
Yeah.
It was definitely both things.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
even in the pregame show, Warner was talking about how he shows glimpses of, but he never has like a complete game. So he even used a couple of examples of like when it seems that no one's open, but Jefferson's wide open and just Cousins does not throw it or just throws a little dump. So hopefully he can fix that. I do see him being a little more aggressive than in the past. So I'm okay with some of those throws, but also I'm not sure if you guys noticed that some of his easy throws he was throwing a little behind the receivers, which kind of stopped them from getting in a momentum and going after the catch. like that pass to Jefferson, that was an easy touchdown there, and he just threw it behind him. Probably, I mean, Jefferson probably should catch that, but I mean, he had it wide open. I mean, even the one to the tight end, was it Munt? The one that he missed? Yeah. Okay, he should have caught that, but also Cousins could have just put a little more touch on that. Like, he was wide open just to make it easier for him.
I love how Daddy is like, I think like I am the number 1 Kirk hater. Judd is like the number 2 Kirk hater. And even Judd and I stopped short of blaming Kirk for the Johnny Munt drop. But Daddy comes in here, he's like a half a pint or a half a keg deep of.
He would have had to walk him the ball, Daddy. He would have had to say, Johnny, here's the rock.
Like, he could have done one of those Mahomes throws, you know, the little things that Mahomes does nowadays. And like, make it easier for him, because, I mean, I saw it again. Yes, he was wide open, but like maybe he was a little too hard. And just my last one, again, just like kind of burning Cousins here. Like, what's up with all those like third down passes that are short, no matter if the receiver catches it? It's like I saw like 3 or 4 of them today, where it's like he not only throws a complicated or a tough catch, but like they're either gonna get killed, or even if they catch it, they have no chance of getting a first down.
Yeah, all right, Daddy, dude, this is a great session here stuff, from man. You. Definitely need Daddy to come on again here. I want him to take that gigantic cup and just fill it with random drinks every week. Your mission is to have just another random drink in there. It could be like a Mai Tai. Hell, it could just be straight, whiskey, whatever you want it to be. I mean, this has kind of been Kirk's. And by the way, I think going into this game, Kirk had the second lowest air yards per throw of any quarterback in the NFL. Some of it might be schematic. I mean, that like let's look at that objectively here. That first drive, the Vikings, it was like a 13-play, 74-yard touchdown drive. And almost every play, it was death by paper cuts. It was a perfect first drive. Milk half the first quarter off the clock. And the average depth of throw, I'll bet, was 6 or 7 yards or less, because it was all these great crossing routes, right? It was Thielen in space, Jefferson in space.
Scripted plays were good.
Maybe a little out route here. Yep, exactly. So I don't think depth of throw or air yards per throw is the gospel for judging quarterbacks, but it is notable that he had the most conservative average air yards per throw of any quarterback, or second lowest coming into the game. So it is a thing for sure, and it's been throughout his career.
Just to be perfectly clear, too, that was Daddy who said that that the ball could have been put more in a better place. That was not our show. So before you tweet us and are like, Mackie and Judd, they're talking again about how Kirk has to make a better throw to Munt. No, we never said that, okay? That ball has to be
it's already been aggregated. It's already been aggregated.
Aggregators, please don't pick this up.
KirkHateWatch.com has already put it on the front
Anyway,
page.
That's not us.
Before we get back to more Vikings fans here, a shout out to our friends at the Minnesota Lottery for this glorious Vikings scratch game that they've been pumping throughout the first month of the season.
That's right. The Vikes won, of course, and now you can win too with a $10.2 million in total cash prizes. It's time to go big with the lottery's big ticket Viking scratch game. So big, huge second chance prizes. The lottery, just simply say, I'm in, must be 18 or older to go big. Make this day perfect by winning some cash from the Vikings scratch game.
Boom. And again, thank you guys. We're about 25 minutes into Vikings Vent Line here. This is the most fan-friendly, interactive show in all of Minnesota sports. Vikings Vent Line, part of the Purple Daily umbrella of Daily Vikings Entertainment. And if you haven't already clicked the subscribe and the like button on this episode on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, please do so you can help spread the word about this awesome community of fans that you guys are helping us build here. Who's next on Vikings Vent Line?
Let's go to our guy, Jay.
All
Jay, what's
right.
up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Jay.
Hey, so I want to bring up one thing that I absolutely hate that happened on offense, but then I want to shower somebody with praise, because this single man is the reason we are 3-1 and not 1-3. So real quick on the offensive thing, if it's 3rd and 20, 3rd and 21, and you run a draw play to the right with Dalvin Cook, just kneel the ball and get off the field. I hate give up plays with a passion. If you're gonna do crap like that, come on, just don't. Chuck the ball. I don't care. Do anything but a run on 3rd and 20. Now, the man that is responsible for our 3-1 start, this single person has been the one group of people that have been good in every single game, and that is Matt McDaniel, special teams coordinator. Our special teams have been absolutely elite, and they are the reason that we have more wins than we probably should right now. With our offense sputtering and our defense looking like a sieve, our special teams coming up with turnovers, punch outs, making huge tackles right when the ball gets into the hands of the return guys. And Greg Joseph making 5 field goals today. I know he missed that extra point, but I'm not going to be picky about that. Our special teams has been absolutely elite. Give that man a round of applause, Matt McDaniels.
Jay, great stuff,
nice.
dude. Let's keep it rolling here. We can come back and
no Mick.
The Mick
Just
is
to be
gone.
clear.
Let's put some respect on his name.
Exactly right, Matt Daniels.
We can talk about the missed extra point and the unnecessary anxiety, but the five field goals more than made up for it. Vent line continuing here, Dex.
Yeah, let's go to is it Skoltheus?
Skoltheus, how we doing, guys?
What's up, dude?
What's up, Al?
Oh, not too much, man. I love listening to you guys. You know, you guys get me through the workday a lot of the time, like everyone else says. Listen to you. I took some notes today. You know, some good things. Jet sweeps, like get those in the game more often. It's dynamic. It's fun. It's exciting. It keeps the defense from pinning their ears back. They always got to pay attention to that. Resilience. You know, I mean, I love seeing the team fight back. You're gonna face adversity. You guys hammer that point all the time. If you can't deal with it, you're not going to win a lot of games in the NFL. And the kicking unit. Oh my gosh. How nice is it to finally have a reliable kicking unit? Now, I got to say, the extra point, I was like, for Christ's sakes, don't miss this. And then he did, so it's probably my fault. But, you know, typical Viking stuff. But double doink, fantastic. Hate the Saints, hate the Bears. It's just the perfect way to end the game, take the dub. You know, some bad things, defensive pressure. Like, where is the pressure this year? It seemed like the Saints were running down our throats the entire game on defense, and we could not get any pressure on them at all. And I just don't know what the issue is there. Kirk playing timid a lot. You know, I just want to see him take a game by the throat sometimes. You know, he's got the talent. He's just got to get through his mental, you know, that aspect of things. Just get some grit in there. Put the work in, get it done. I don't have any Surly. That's one of the bad things today. But I am actually going up to the Cards game in a few weeks. My first, taking my son to his first game up there. So
Nice, man.
That'll be fun. I'll have to pick up some Surly when I'm there. Oh, and yeah, a little life of suffering. Johnny Munt. Well, I had a bet on him getting a TD anytime in the game. So, of course, you know, he misses that potential easy grab and go right there. It's like, come on, bro. So, and then Cook, you know, I swear every time he touches the ball, it's like a 2-yard scamper. And then that's it. He never breaks it. It's like watching Adrian back in the day, just 2 yards here, 1 yard there. Maybe he'll bust one, but I haven't seen a lot of that explosiveness from Cook early this year yet. So, you know, like I said, appreciate it. You know, having me on here. It's first time, a little nervous if you can't tell.
Dude, no, you
love
killed
you
it.
guys.
You did great, man.
I'm trying. Hopefully, I'll be back on at some point. You know, I love listening to you guys. So keep up the great work, man. Go Vikings.
Skoltheus, man. Thank you, dude. Appreciate the kind words. And no, you did a great job for being nervous. Apparently, let's keep it rolling here.
Let's go to Mackey's neck of the woods. Brad in Seattle. I think he's also rocking a
Score North
t-shirt
themed shirt there.
I woke up at 6:30 a.m. for this, guys, and I slept in my Score North shirt because it's comfy.
Good.
Hey, man, I slept in my Score North hat as well. Just woke right up. Yes.
Man, I had 3 cups of coffee, but my heart was pumping so hard I feel like I had like 9. This stuff is like bad for my health waking up so early, losing sleep over it. Oh, goodness. I don't understand the decision they did it with both Cook and I think with the end around on they did it like a sweep to the right with both Cook and was it KJ Osborne at the end? Like, put the game away, guys. You can't keep letting Andy Dalton look like a hero just like they did Cooper Rush last season. Maybe the Vikings just really like redheaded quarterbacks, but man, they had to put that one away. I I just wanted to vent a little bit because they got us up too early to put up a performance like that.
Well, I think like my thought, especially on the KJ Osborne play, because that was like a 3rd and 9, and you had a chance to. It's like they decided, okay, we're just going to kind of get inside 50-yard field goal range and let's not go too crazy. And you could, whether you want to call it a lack of trust in Cousins or a lack of trust in the offensive line, it was very obvious. KOC said, once we get inside 50 yards for a field goal for Greg Joseph here, I don't want a sack. I don't want an interception. I don't want some sort of fumble or something. So let's just be careful here. We could debate all day whether that's the right way to go about it, but he clearly didn't trust whatever it was, Kirk offensive line, to not make a mistake in that spot.
The Cook one was 3rd and 21, I believe. So, throw it downfield, get some yardage, like at least secure the field goal a little bit more if that's what it's going to be. Man,
I got a feeling I got a feeling that KOC has altered his play calling a bit because of concerns about Kirk. And he got the great throw to Justin, right? Big gain, I think 39 yards, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was like, he's like, okay, that's what I'm going to get. I think KOC, and I think this has way more to do with Kirk's mentality than physical ability. I think he is pulling back the reins a bit and probably doing more Kubiak stuff than he would like, because there's a definite, I don't know if it's a lack of trust or just a concern there, but he's not a dumb guy. And again, I will continue to say this. The notion that Kirk Cousins was just going to simply, at the snap of fingers, turn into Stafford was not true.
Yeah, there's a reason why Stafford, in terms of upside, right?
Yeah.
Kirk has pretty much leveled out as a 34-year-old. This is largely what you're going to get. And he's a 4th-round pick that wasn't highly touted out of high school, right? He deserves praise for making $250 million as one of the 15 best quarterbacks in the NFL. But he's kind of maxing out at his on his odometer or whatever you want to, right? Yes. Matthew Stafford was a former #1 overall pick, stuck with one of the most garbage organizations in all of professional sports for 10 years. You could kind of tell, God, there's something more there. If you could just put him with the right organization, there's another level to his game. And we might just be finding out that Kirk is a really good, solid quarterback. He's probably not going to be one of the best quarterbacks on 3rd down. He's not going to magically, gain this escapability from pressure in the pocket. How can they kind of work with what they have with him? And, they're feeling that out still. It's been 4 games. They're still feeling out what they can and can't do with him in this system.
Exactly.
All right, we'll keep it going. Let's go to our guy Ben in Florida. Ben, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, so Judd, I'm with you on your theory about O'Connell and the play calling. He definitely has changed a little bit in the last few weeks because, Cousins' play has been wildly uneven.
Yes.
Wildly uneven. Like, it's just like the interception he threw, that is an inexcusable pass. He cannot throw that.
He double clutched, right? It was just kind of a weird. He gave it away with the double clutch.
Yes.
Yeah, like
that suckered in.
That's an excusable pass.
Yep.
I give an early nod to KOC for potential coach of the year because the last 2 games they don't win those under Zimmer. They just don't. They find ways to lose games. And yes, the opponents they're playing gift wrapped them the win. They gave them opportunities, and the Vikings, like the team, took advantage of them. So I'm not really going to put this a lot on KOC. I think he's trying to work with the pieces that is given.
Yeah.
And he's doing the best that he can. So hopefully they can beat the Bears next week, another team that's not very good. They should get to 4-1. Then they come here to Miami. I'm going to the game. The last Vikings game I went to was 2014 in Tampa. They won. So hopefully they can go 2-0. And I'll be going to down here in the sunny South Florida.
Love it, man. Love
Nice,
it, man.
man.
Ben, thank
Good
you,
stuff.
dude. Appreciate you. One of our OG Vikings Vent Line callers. By the way, apparently Scott Hansen on NFL Red Zone. Did you guys see yesterday how people were just bitching, rightfully so? They're trying to watch college football, and ESPN kept cutting in with Aaron Judge.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Cut-ins. I love it.
And there was articles written about it yesterday, and Scott Hansen jumps on NFL Red Zone and says, "No pitcher is pitching around Aaron Judge in our double box today."
Good for him. God, he's awesome.
Oh, it's hilarious. All right, let's we got thousands of people hanging out with us here this morning after a Vikings win in London. Who's next?
Blake from Shoreview. Blake, what's up, buddy?
My heart is still racing. I'm waiting for it to calm down.
Amazing.
Jeez, and oh my God. All I'm going to say is this. I've been a Viking fan since 1996. First game against the Green Bay Packers. John Randall sacking Brett Favre 3 times. Since that day, I've been a hopeless Viking fan. And over the past, I would say, 11 years, I have been waiting for KOC to arrive. Bland offense with mediocre defensive play, close calls. My heart's still racing. Jeez and criminy.
Dude,
All
I think you and a lot of people, man.
You're too young for this.
30. I'm 30 years old, but I've lived too many heartbreaks. And I know you've gone through way too many. You lived through the 4 Super Bowls.
Well, yeah.
But all I got to say is this. For all the Viking fans out there that are critical of Kirk Cousins and this offense this year, I'm just going to enjoy the ride. We have been waiting for this, I would say, for 8 years under Mike Zimmer's bland, conservative style approach. This is something new. It's not going to be like Sean McVay in 2017 where they had the number 1 ranked offense and nearly went to the Super Bowl. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. I'm sick and tired of just having hyped up seasons just to be falling short of expectations. It's going to be a process. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be the first year, maybe next year or the year after that. So for all the Viking fans, I just got to say, give this thing time. Don't jump off and start being critical in the first year under this new regime. I would say within 3 years, write this down. Hail Mary Flutie. We will be in the Super Bowl by year 3 under KOC.
Wow.
Yeah, Blake coming in hot from Shoreview with the takes.
Now calm down. Now calm yourself down. Your poor heart.
Go do a meditation.
I pounded down 2 before I dies after that kick.
Way to go, man.
Good for you.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Way to go.
Let's
right there, baby.
Blake, great stuff, dude. That's a great call. I love the blue skies and Shoreview there too. All right, let's keep it rocking here on Vikings.
We'll keep it
Vent Line.
going. More before
What's going on, guys? Good morning.
Hi, Tyler. How are you?
Pretty good. Waking up early definitely wasn't my favorite. Chose to have my before I die after 11 because before that feels a little bit gratuitous. So,
were you just staring at it for the first 2 hours, or what was?
Oh, I was up at 8 a.m. and immediately I was like,
should I?
Not yet.
Cheers, man.
Judd brushed his teeth with Before I Die this
I
morning.
had a chilled mug for my Before I Die.
Oh, I love the chilled mug. Huge.
I was ready to go.
Judd poured a bowl of cornflakes with Before I Die instead of milk this morning. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I'm not judging.
So I want to do a preemptive pie chart of praise if I could. 3 slices of pie, very short. 50% to Greg the Leg. If he didn't make those field goals today, we would have lost. Plain and simple. 40% to JJ. Like you said, he dropped a couple maybe he should have caught. But at the end of the day, without him on the team, probably don't get the win as well. And then 10% to KOC. Because like you guys mentioned, last year we lost a lot of really close games. And this year we're winning them. So a lot of praise goes to the coach for that. And then the only other thing I have is Eric Kendricks went out of the game for, I think, a drive or 2, if I'm correct.
Yes.
I think the game was 7-7, and they put in Troy Dye. And in my head, I'm wondering, the NFL is really about being fast. If you have a fast team, you have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't Brian Asamoah given a chance? You know what I mean? And we hear these things about Lewis Cine not picking up the defense very well. I wonder if we're having the same issues with Brian. So let me know what you guys think.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's I think it's really tough when you're talking about Hicks and Kendricks because those guys are very highly paid, very well decorated NFL linebackers.
Right.
But they're both on the wrong side of 30 at a position that needs to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, and Cena's done now. I think
it's
he
a
snapped
lower
his leg.
It is a lower leg fracture. He's undergoing surgery in London before returning home at some point.
God. Poor guy.
So that's a wrap for his season. Wow. Just looking for other injury updates here. Kevin O'Connell was emotional talking about Cine in the post game.
Yeah.
The injury updates mostly are just on Lewis Cine here to this point. So we'll keep you guys posted if anything else comes across during the show.
Kendricks, I believe, was tested for a concussion. Thielen on the second drive definitely hurt his leg. Like he couldn't run at times. So I'm curious if this is going to be a problem. And did Harrison Smith at the end of the game get kicked in the leg? Is that what happened? Or the groin?
Was it his hand or
I thought it was his groin.
Okay, it looked like he was holding his hand, but maybe he was
Okay.
holding his groin.
Yeah, it looked like he got kicked somewhere where you don't want to be kicked.
Yeah, I wanted to tell him, could you please tough it out for 5 more seconds, because it's going to be a
Timeout.
mandatory timeout for the defense. If you could just,
Phil,
you could just,
Phil's
you
like,
know, be a
come
little
on,
tougher
Harrison.
there. Also, I don't know if the NFL officially sent a memo or not, but the contrast between how many times they showed the replay of the Tua injury on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And Al Michaels was like, let's zoom in a little closer on that rigor mortis hand thing. What do you think?
Yeah.
And then today, I don't even think they showed one replay of the Lewis Cine injury.
They didn't. They played it inside the stadium, from what people were saying, and it was pretty bad.
I
So
saw
I
it
did not
tweeted.
feel
It's bad. His leg bends and then just sort of goes off. It's real bad.
The NFL's like, we're going to pump the brakes.
You
on
never
showing injuries.
post that Theismann in '84, I believe, guys. You never need to show a person's leg snapping ever again.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to see it.
Yeah,
There's nothing that you're like, oh, now I know what's wrong. It's disgusting.
You know what they should do? If they really want to capitalize, for the mainstream audience, don't show the replay, but charge a subscription for the sickos that really want to see from every angle someone's leg getting broken. We're not going to show you the replay here. I can hear Chris Collinsworth on Sunday night. We just suffered a brutal injury down there, and we're not going to show you the replay. But you can go to NFLinjuries.com.
NFLonlyfans.com, and you can subscribe to all the nasty you want to see right there. There it is.
Oh, my God.
Marketing.
All right, who's next on Vikings Vent Line?
All right, let's go to Cody. Cody's outside enjoying the beautiful fall day. Cody, what's up, man? Oh, Cody, you're muted.
You're muted there,
on
Cody.
Your end. Just gotta unmute yourself once he's got it. There you go.
There we go. Oh, we still can't hear Cody.
We can't hear Cody. That's
okay. Let's put Cody back in the green room here. We'll
get him paused up. Let's go to Rob. Rob, who's ready to get some takes here. Rob, what's up?
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Couple points here. So I think we all should have seen this coming, right? We're playing a backup quarterback. We're over there in London. Of course, the game was going to be close, and we were going to make all kinds of dumb mistakes, such as the missed extra point that would have had, the field goal wouldn't have tied it there. It might not have been so close, but. Also, I think Kirk's early pick really changed the momentum in that game. The defense was playing well. The offense, scored on the first drive. We had the ball back, and Kirk throws the pick there. So I think that kind of completely changed it. I could feel the shift. Also, why can't we score touchdowns? I mean, field goals. And, we can't hate on Greg Joseph too much because he's the one who won us this game at the end of the day. But we need to find a way to be able to get the ball in the end zone because it shouldn't have been close.
Correct.
Also, a couple other people have mentioned it, but I feel like Kirk was kind of off all game. He just wasn't putting the ball in the spots where it should have been. Granted, Jefferson's one of the best. He should catch some of these balls, but if Kirk throws a better ball, he probably does. So that's another thought there. More drop passes seems to be a theme early in the season here, especially with the tight ends. And one last point, I think the run game looks pretty bad on both sides of the ball, both offense and defense. I know that the Saints are pretty good up front, but even against other teams this season, we have not really looked good in either aspect. So hopefully they can clean that up.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Appreciate you jumping out. Yeah, the Vikings only 3.2 yards per carry. Defensively, they did hold the Saints to only 4 yards a carry, so it wasn't a total disaster on the ground. But yeah, Dalvin Cook, 20 carries to get to 76 yards in that game, and again, his long was only 14. Has he busted anything over like 25 or 30?
No,
what's his long this season?
He looked like he might bust one early in the game, and I think he got tripped. But I'm telling you, going back to week 1 against the Packers, I contend that he used to have that plant his foot and take off move. I don't see it. I just don't see the burst now. He still gets yards, but I don't see that. Like he used to have like 5 gears, right? Feels like he's down about 3 now.
His long carry on the season is 16 yards.
Mm-hmm.
For context, and it's only been, it's been a month, but his 4 years before that, his long was 65, 70, and 66. Yet a 20-yard run. Are we back here? Was I out?
Yeah.
I think I'm
You
out.
had a little bit of a glitch there. That's
I can still
okay.
hear you.
We got you. Let's go to the VP of
It's the
homemade
it's the
game
Gremlins.
day Juicy Lucy's here on Vikings Vent Line. What's up, man?
How you guys doing? Do you guys hear me?
Yep, we got you.
All right. So, first of all, I'd like to say the random Viking of the week with Greg Camarillo, one of the funniest things I've seen in my lifetime. It was absolutely amazing. Knowing that Judd got Phil back was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Dude, Greg Camarillo was retweeting it throughout the week too. Greg Camarillo loved it. Loved himself some random Viking.
It was great. It was great. I was I was coming home from work and I was just like replaying it again and again. I'm like, this is hilarious. Just Declan's laugh. Everything was funny. And then I will name drop somebody. The Ty Cox parrot thing about Declan, hilarious. All right, that's my dog in the background. It was absolutely
Who's a good dog?
hilarious.
No, that's just Declan repeating everyone's takes.
She has her Vikings jersey on, so that's
Oh yeah.
Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl?
Yes.
Azula, say hi.
She's like, I am not happy with that game. That red zone offense ticked her off.
Azula.
And
Azula. All right, I'm here. I'm back now. So I'm out here in Rhode Island right now. I'm in.
She doesn't want to be ignored.
I'm in.
I think we may have to say goodbye.
Oh, that's okay.
The poor dog, you know what the dog wants? Two things. Red Zone, Nutrisource.
Yeah, that's right.
Those two things. Give me my damn food and put Red Zone on with Scotty Hansen right now.
Oh my gosh, man. That is hilarious. All right, who's next on Vikings Vent Line?
Let's go to Jabril. Jabril, what's up, man? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
What's going on, man? This is the first time I've been back in a long time since
Welcome back.
The Cowboys got the game.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news for the Vikings family. I recently just lost my girlfriend this Wednesday. She passed in a car accident. I wanted to share that with you guys because, she's one of those girls that allowed me to watch you guys' show and was definitely learning about football and stuff like that. So I just wanted to shout her out here. A couple takeaways from the actual game today. The defense is terrible. The defense is god awful. Kirk Cousins, he's doing a lot better in KOC's offense. It's not spectacular. It's not great. He has some bad throws in there, but like a couple listeners said, we are winning games this year that we would never have won last year. And my last takeaway that I wanted to touch on maybe 2 weeks ago, the receivers, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, and Randy Moss. I know Stephon got tagged as being a diva, but he complained and had personality about some of the things that we kind of needed on the team. And I wish we had somebody like that on the team in the Philly game that we had. And as far as Justin Jefferson, I got his jersey on now. I love JJ. He's a great receiver. Amazing. I think he will end up being one of the top 10, 15 best Vikings of all time. But the comparisons to Randy Moss is not even close. It's, Randy was very dominant, and I think JJ is unstoppable, but it's different when the ball is in the air and you know that 2 or 3 people around him, he still has a chance to come down with the ball. So thanks for my time. I'll definitely be back to give you guys a call, check up on you guys.
Anytime you want.
take
And
care,
Jabril,
man.
you got a massive community of Vikings fans here, Purple Daily listeners and watchers that I can see the comments are coming in, people supporting you. So you always have us, and you're welcome on this show anytime, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, Jabril. Thanks, dude. All right, let's keep it rolling here on Vikings Vent Line, Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Hey, what's going on,
up,
guys?
What's up?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep, I
we
got
got
you.
you. You got us.
All right, so is it just me or is Brian O'Neill our big problem on the offensive line right now?
Well, today he
Rough
got
game.
beat a few times. Cam Jordan took his lunch, but leading into today, he's been one of the best tackles in the NFL. So it was definitely a bad day for him, though.
I hear you. And my second one is I I know JJ's our man. JJ's our best receiver on the team, but as of right now, I think Adam Thielen's our go-to guy. He should be getting the ball right now. He's old, reliable, and I think he should, he's keeping us going right now. I think we should be going more to Thielen at this time.
I think, thanks for coming on here, Mike. I think both of those guys, like today, Jefferson winds up catching 10 passes. Thielen catches 8. They were targeted a combined 22 times. I actually loved the workload for both of those. I thought this was kind of perfect. JJ gets his, Thielen gets his, and then some other guys get sprinkled in throughout the game.
Yeah, I think it was clear that when the season started, the preference from KOC was to go to Justin a lot. Mm-hmm. But I also think, again, I think that Kevin is having to adjust to Kirk too. And Kirk definitely trusts among his potential targets, Thielen the most. And so it feels like now that KOC is deferring back to Kirk a bit. Like Kirk is not at the stage of Kirk's life where you could just completely change him and be like, you know what, you're not going to throw to 19, it's all 18. So yeah, I feel they are definitely trying to get on the same page. Thielen is incredibly consistent. That being said, if you're a coach, the deep ball that went to Jefferson is an indication of what he can do, and you don't want to abandon that too. Yeah. So like it's probably right now, and unfortunately, I guess it seems like Osborne is the odd man out, but it's probably right now a balancing act, right? Of what Kirk prefers, but also calling plays that give you the best chance.
How about this? So Kirk had 35 targets today, and 22 of the 35, like I said, went to Jefferson Thielen, and then you mixed 4 over here to Irv Smith. KJ Osborne had a couple targets. There was the red zone. I mean, KJ Osborne caught a touchdown that was wiped out by the pick offensive interference. But this is, I mean, Thielen and Jefferson with a slight skew toward Jefferson. That's how you have to make it work. Boys, I'm going to hand it off to you guys to wrap up the rest of this. As I think the audience knows, I'm out in Arizona helping my dad with some stuff. His health has been not so great, and the audience has been very supportive, but I'll let you guys take it home here on Purple Daily, and I'll give you some more takes early in the week here as we progress toward a Bears game that could be a trap game. A Bears game that could be a trap game. Be careful.
Before you go, I'll fly the flag for you.
I wish we had Ode to Joy because we don't have
There goes the flag. Mick Tingelhoff bobblehead, the Surly Before I Die can, and the flag, the hat trick. See you, dude. Take care.
Amazing. All right, guys. See you guys.
All right, Judd, we'll keep it going here. We still got plenty of Vikings fans to get to here, so
got all time in the world.
Let's go to John now. John, what's up, bud? Welcome to Vikings Vent Line. How are you?
Hey, John.
Kalispera from Athens, Greece. It was a great game. It was a very great time for me because it's 8:30 in the evening right now. Mm-hmm. So it was 8:30 and it was really nice. Heartbreaking once more. But as previous guys said, last year there was no chance to win this game. I think KOC have brought some new air in the team. And I believe the special teams deserve this win. It's for them today.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe this.
They were fantastic. Thanks, John.
Yeah, good stuff, John.
On that point, so my biggest takeaway about the statement that this team does not win the last 2 games in 2020 or 21 is if Mike is coaching, first of all, once Greg Joseph misses the PAT, he's mentally gone because Mike would be ticked off. And this is where I think KOC is walking a fine line with Kirk. I'm sure KOC is more frustrated by some of Kirk's shenanigans than the fan base, right? Because he's probably like, I thought I was getting this guy and add some. But anyway, he also walks the line of having to keep Kirk's confidence up. Mm-hmm. And you know what? That last drive, or the drive that featured the 39-yard pass to Jefferson, Dex, that's a hell of a throw. And that's coming from a guy who was definitely at different times shook. And I feel like previously with the former coach, when he got shook, it was very hard to get him back, right? Like he was sort of just lost. And so, yes, I think that there is something. The 2 people that I think Zim was the toughest on was the kicker and QB. Kevin is clearly smart enough to say, you know what? You might have screwed up, but I need you still.
But you could also see, and this is maybe just reckless speculation of how he reacts on the sidelines. You can see his disappointment when they go to the red zone and they have to settle for 3. And good. Like I love that a coach is disappointed that he's settling. You know, he can tell that there's frustration there because he knows his offense should be able to move it down the field and get 6 when they need to. So
absolutely.
Let's keep it going. Let's go to Nick here on Vikings Vent Line. Nick, what's up, pal?
How's it going? How you guys doing?
Great.
Good, buddy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I saw a lot of things that I did like, but I saw a lot more that I did not like.
Fair.
Kirk Cousins could have played a lot better. I'm tired of seeing him just throwing the ball out there, and there's 2 DBs on him, and they could just come underneath and pick the ball off like they obviously did today. I'd say defense has got to be a lot better. This is a mediocre team that we went against. This is Andy Dalton we're talking about here. It shouldn't have been that close of a game. And I'd say really KOC, just a lot more. I think we need to get Justin Jefferson open even more than what he's done. I know he's probably going to say it in the presser after the game that he needs to get him open more, but I think with doing that, we could open up a lot more stuff for Adam Thielen, even more than we have today. I think we have a lot of weapons that we could use. We just got to explore them.
Absolutely.
Great stuff, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, I think he's right. So the thing about Jefferson, though, is, and again, this is where it's going to be very interesting to watch the maturation of what O'Connell is doing. It is very simple, and it's fun to say this. Justin Jefferson is our Cooper Kupp. He is the Vikings Cooper Kupp, and he's going to be Cooper Kupp. Okay, that's a great thing to say, and I love it, but it's sort of also like saying Cousins is Stafford. Same guy. Well, they're really not. And so I think what we're going through is a feeling out process. But I'll go back to saying this. And I was, after week 1, I was the one saying, you know, JJ and Moss, it's like the same type of, no, I'm wrong right there. I'm wrong right now. He's not Moss. The caller who said he's not Moss is 1,000% right. Randy caught the balls that Justin is not. The potential touchdown pass was not a great throw by Kirk, and there was pressure there, but you know what? That ball can be caught. The drop that was where Lattimore was on Jefferson, but Jefferson could have caught the ball, in my opinion, is a flat-out drop. Yeah. And so, like, there's blame to go around here. But scheming Jefferson open, you know, it's going to take work at times. You need to do it. They worked hard to do it, but when he is presented opportunities, he can't be averaging perhaps a drop or 2 per game.
Right. He needs to be better.
Once in a while, sure, but it can't happen consistently. It just simply cannot.
I agree. Let's go to Dan now on Vikings Vent Line. Dan, what's up?
What's up, guys? Not too much. So I am a fan since 2001. Randy Moss, Vikings fan in Indiana. First time on Vent Line. Feeling a little under the weather, but I'm definitely not a fair weather fan. A win is a win, but we have so much room for improvement on offense and defense, I feel like, especially with spreading the ball around more, getting the ball to Jefferson, like you had just said. Our defense seems to be bend but don't break a lot. I feel like it's working for now, but we're getting really lucky. We need to be more aggressive on offense. It seems a bit non-existent at times, and it is so frustrating to me when we're just settling for field goals. There was at one point, I think, in the game where it was 4th and 1, and I feel like we could have gone for it, and instead we just took the field goal.
4th and 2.
And then,
you're right.
Yep, 4th and 2. Kirk is going to be Kirk. That's how I feel. I don't think he's ever going to change. I don't think O'Connell can change that. And last but not least, I'm really happy with the win, but I'm going to leave you with a double entendre here. It's a win against the no good Saints. People don't forget 2009, man.
All right, man.
I love it, Dan.
Great stuff, Dan. Thank you very much. So here's where I'm a little bit torn. Declan. Here's where I'm a little bit torn, because I agree with his points. And look, watching this offense at times look good, and then for series just regress is incredibly frustrating. And today's game, much like last week, could have been won by about 14 points.
Right.
All of that being said, here's where I'm a little bit torn. We told them, and especially I told them, why don't you sort of blow things up, right? Don't run things back. And it's clear that the Wills told Kwesi and O'Connell, no, we are going to run this thing back, re-sign Kirk. Part of my contention is this. You do have some upper echelon star power, no question about it. But Dex, the Vikings probably at the end of the day belong in that middle ground group of teams that play games like we've seen the last 2 weeks. Because they're not a great team. So I'm a little bit torn, because you're basically running it back with a group that, look, they are winning games that they didn't with Mike, and the change was necessary and good. All of that being said, it's not like Mike had this high-flying great team. So I feel like we need to accept the fact that this Vikings team is a middling team, and they are winning games that middling teams win like this. So I'm very torn here. I'm very torn because I can't now say, well, I mean, this team is fantastic. There are things that when I watch games frustrate me, but there's a lot of things about this team that don't surprise me one bit.
Keep it moving here on Vikings Vent Line. By the way, hit the subscribe button for daily Minnesota Vikings entertainment. This is Purple Daily, a Viking show 365 days a year. Of course, you are watching Vikings Vent Line, the most fan-friendly and interactive Viking show in all of Vikings land. Let's go to now a very interesting cat here, Kirky McClutcherton.
Hey, tough fought game, guys. Defense held them at the end. You held them to 25 points and gave us a chance. We've won this way all year, and I got 3 words for you. You're a bet!
All right.
Love it.
Thank you very much.
I do like that. I love the
his voice didn't crack. You know what? His voice didn't crack too. He came through with it.
You and I have been talking about since the beginning of the season. He didn't. The new way Kirk goes up to the huddle right now. I still make fun of him all the time. Vinny thinks it's funny when I do it. So at least I got an audience.
I'm glad the dog likes it.
At least the dog likes it there. Let's go to Rance. Rance, what's up, man? Welcome back. How are you?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Good, dude.
Good, man. Well, I just want to be a little more positive than most people have been the last 2 weeks. Like I'm saying hello in the hallway. I'm enjoying the new special team success. I think it's turning into wins. I think there's a lot of good things from the punt team, especially. Joseph's done pretty well, despite a few missed kicks, but he hit a clutch one, so that's what matters. Man, we're winning close games. We lost last year. I'm happy about that. They're stressful, but I think we're learning how to win, in adverse situations, and I think that's very important. And as far as the offensive struggles go, I don't think people are putting enough focus on the lack of the run game success. The Rams offense, it looked like it was a high-flying pass offense, but when you really dig deeper, it was balanced. They relied on having success from the running backs, and we're really not having that right now. There is a ton of 1-yard runs right now, and it's not allowing, I feel, the whole offense to gel. It's not bringing those linebackers and safeties up closer to the line. They're getting to set back on guys like Jefferson, and I think that, once we get that going and figure that out, I think everything will open up. So I just wanted to say good job, guys. Thanks, and
thank you.
Let's enjoy the wins.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Speaking of, how about the fake punt? Ryan
my
Wright,
favorite plays
a
in
former
football.
high school quarterback. I think we talked about this. And to think I questioned the decision to make a change there, huh? That was that's a hell of a call.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Fake
the type
punt.
of call that used to go against the Vikings, and the Vikings didn't do it. So
Easily my favorite novelty play in all of sports. I know there isn't a lot, but it is my George Washington of novelty plays.
Did you see
the fake punt?
So that followed a 3 and out on which Kirk and company looked terrible. And they showed O'Connell on the sideline. And did you see he did a marvelous job of selling being pissed off?
Yeah.
He looked disgusted, he's shaking his head. And then they run the fake punt. It was absolutely great gamesmanship.
Love it. A few more guests here on Vikings Vent Line. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. So we'll go to now Peter. Peter with that NFL Jam shirt on that I've seen some other Vikings fans
Have you seen that around?
Dude, I love it. Culpepper to Moss. Big fan. Love it.
Awesome. Same here. So I got a few minutes until this pizza's done in the oven, so I'm going to race through it. Well, Kirk, in the words of Denny Green, Kirk is who we thought he was. The only difference I've seen in Kirk is,
He's
the
done.
end of the game, right? Like in the clutch moments here. But so hopefully that's a trend.
Yep.
But the other insight I have on Kirk is that, boy, he just can't play with the lead, right? Like he clenches, he white knuckles. You could tell we went up 7-0, and then he came out on the next drive and basically airmailed a screen pass to KJ Osborne. Like,
yes,
he's just white knuckling the ball. Like, you should feel comfortable up 7-0 with a chance to take more. But the offense, I know, is a work in progress. This defense is a hot mess. They started calling Ed Donatell Ed Donashell because of this terrible shell defense. I mean, if you got pass rushers, great, have a shell defense. But your best pass rusher is Dalvin Tomlinson. He spent most of the day in the backfield. I don't get it. I don't get how you make Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith like non-existent in a game.
Yeah, Smith got the sack, and then I don't know that I heard his name after that sack, which I think was in the first quarter. It might have been on the Saints' first drive. So
yeah, I mean, you got to work hard to keep those guys hidden on the field. But our quarterbacks actually look like they know how to play football again today. Even Pat P. I mean, he found the fountain of youth on that flight to London, didn't he?
He made about 3, I thought, outstanding plays.
Yeah,
just
where's
really
that
sound
been for the last
technique.
2 years?
Yeah, no, those. Yeah, he made. In fact, he actually got beat for a first down, but before that, he made back-to-back plays, and he made the move that I absolutely love. He didn't go for the pick; he just went for the ball and batted it down. I've always wondered, because how many times do corners go for picks and it flies through their hands, or they deflect it into the hands of the receiver? Just bat the ball down. Play basketball against them.
Peter, go get that pizza, man.
The pizza's ready, man.
Is your kitchen burning down?
Yeah, don't
okay?
let the house catch on fire, okay?
Yeah. All right, guys.
Good stuff, man. Thank you.
Man. Oh my God, we're not responsible for home.
And of course, if his house does, you know what? Finch Home Solutions can fix all of his problems. Cody Finch and my friends.
Oh my God. A few more guests here on Vikings Vent Line.
We
Let's
got
go to Alan.
everybody.
Alan, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, Colin?
What's up,
Thanks for having me on the show. Colin from wonderful Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, your college football team is awful.
Oh, I know. I just realized how irrelevant we are kind of this year. But it was very refreshing to see another win from the Vikings.
Yes.
I think it's okay to say it's officially Kirktober. I mean, he led us on a game-winning drive. I think we're discounting that. And that's 2 weeks in a row. So I kind of see that, and as a bright spot, he's showing up when it matters. Number 2 on Cook. I still see electricity out of him. The one play in the first half, he was like hitting the hole really hard and then got tripped and they missed that call. And then on the final drive, he gave us a good first down. So I think he still has those bursts of energy, but maybe like, as many people have said, like 1 or 2 yard rushes have been happening. But I think, Madison, getting him in the mix might help that a little bit.
Yes. And I wonder if they're going to start to split carries more, Declan.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't the thing with Cook that I keep coming back to is it's not that he's bad now, it's that he's lacking those last 2 gears. Because like that fifth gear that he used to possess, it was incredible. Like he was gone.
Right.
And I just don't see it now. So
a few more left here on Vikings Vent Line. Let's go to Fast EJA. What's up, buddy?
Not much. You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect.
Got you.
So just a couple things. I think Cousins is actually playing better than he's ever played before. Everyone wants to look at the stat sheet, and when he played bad, his stats were great, and now that, his stats aren't so good, he's at least winning games. He's not breaking down like he used to when he throw a pick in a game. And I think, the voice cracking thing Declan always talks about, he might be channeling his inner Steve Young. Steve Young's famous for when he won the Super Bowl, he had that voice crack. So maybe, who knows where that could go.
I like
it. The defense, I think, is a problem. But I think the problem is we're running it like the Niners ran it back in the day when they had Justin Smith and all that. We don't have the front seven to run that defense and only rush four. We got to bring a fifth guy in, whether that's Harrison Smith or whatever from the back end. And I really thought DJ Wanham played well. A lot of time he's a cleanup kind of guy or takes credit for other stuff, but I thought he actually had a pretty good game.
He flashed.
And, yeah, he really did. Good on the run stop too. And then I think, everyone wants to compare Moss to Jefferson. But I will say, while Moss might be the overall talent, he would just shut down and take plays off. Jefferson has character and heart and the skill, and I'll take that over a guy that quits any day of the week. Even though Moss is why I became a Vikings fan. I still love Moss, but he take plays off, and I never appreciated that. And I think last for the running game, we need to run by committee and throw Cook in more, get Chandler in there, get Kene Wanwu in there, and just develop that game more as by committee as opposed to just putting it all through Cook like Zimmer used to do. So those are kind of my takes. Love the show. Keep doing the good work, guys.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you, dude.
Good stuff. So here's what I think is happening a little bit, at least, Dex, 4 games in now, on offense and defense. It seems like for now, O'Connell is deferring to guys who traditionally have played. I wonder if that's going to continue, because the earlier caller or guest made a good point about this. Like, this league now is designed largely around speed, right? And like, you've got Chandler, who's young, Wangwu, who I'm not saying he should play a ton, but certainly there has to be a package because the guy's incredibly fast to incorporate him. And I wonder if as we get deeper into the year and guys are nicked up or show what they can and can't do, I wonder if we're going to start to get a little bit more of a mix of younger, quicker players.
Yeah, they don't
Just a
have.
thought.
In the Philly game, they didn't have the speed. They don't have the type of team that can go with a track meet. They can still win games. Vikings are 3-1. That's fine. But if you try to play up to a level that you don't have, well, you're probably gonna lose if you have to play in a track meet game against like Philly and stuff. So,
but I think O'Connell is smart enough not to come in and like take a ton of work away from Cook, because I think if you do that, you start to lose the players a bit. And there's no question in year one he needs the veterans, right?
Yes.
Like, they're very important as far as potentially setting a clubhouse or, in this case, locker room tone. So I'm just trying to think through the process of this, because I find it hard to believe that none of these young players are actually going to contribute at all in we're at 17 games now, so 13 games. Like, I find that hard to believe.
I agree. Let's try Cody one more time here before we wrap on Vikings Vent Line. Cody, you got us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yep, we got you.
All right. Well, I just, first time on here. Enjoy the show and all that.
Thank you.
My biggest takeaway today is, man, our offensive line is back to its old ways, it seems. That front four of the Saints just really destroyed us. I wouldn't doubt if that right side's probably our lowest rated this week. I don't know if you guys saw the play where Bradbury, man, he just got smacked right in the face and pushed back. But I will say there is good out of it. I like a lot of people have said, I don't think in past games Kirk would have gritted up and won this for us, or just the team in general. So we are, I guess you could say, trending in the right direction. I mean, I think that offense still needs to figure out what it wants to do. Kirk just needs to get out of his head and play football.
Amen.
Good stuff, man.
Cody.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on. Welcome.
There are games like today where Kirk is going to get hit a lot and sacked at times.
Yep.
In some of those, not all, in some of those situations, he needs to get rid of the football. And he doesn't. And so, like, the offensive line scuffled. And the Saints, defensively, are good. That being said, there were definite circumstances where Kirk needs to deliver the football, make a decision, and he doesn't. And so this is where O'Connell, I'm sure, is going to try to work with Kirk. because as we discussed on Purple Daily, I believe it was on Thursday or Friday, there's no offensive line that's perfect. So this whole thing of, well, I mean, Cam Jordan can't get, well, but Cam Jordan's going to. He's good. He's really good. And so, yeah, there has to be, I'm not saying that the offensive line can't regroup and take a step from what we saw today. I am saying that there has to be times in a game against a team that can put on a good rush, especially with a 4-man rush, that your quarterback has to deliver the football.
Yep.
It's a balancing act.
I agree. All right, we're going to wrap Vikings Vent Line a little earlier than normal here, but we will be back tomorrow. We'll have our hottest, strongest Vikings take right here on Purple Daily. So hit the subscribe button for Daily Minnesota Vikings Entertainment. Shout out to everyone who joined us in the room today and watching on the on our Purple Daily YouTube channel. Of course, we are on Apple, Spotify, ScoreNorth.com. Head over to the Score North YouTube page for bonus Vikings content plus content on the Minnesota Twins. Well, not really the Minnesota Twins. With Royce, I guess there's some content there. But the Wolves, the Wild, even some Gopher football apologies that maybe have to be made from over the weekend.
That's going to be brief.
Yes, it will. So hit the subscribe button for Daily Minnesota Sports Entertainment. We'll be back tomorrow right here on this YouTube channel. Be sure to check out Realistic Randy Rants as well with Randy and myself. And Before We Die, Jesse Pierce, Thor Nystrom, Ross Brendel holding it down there. Plenty of Vikings content coming to you. Vikings are 3-1, and this has been Vikings Vent Line.